See, The Guardian has a story here about the Tories. What's this one?
Yeah, Tory areas allocated more cash from Levelling Up Fund. So, surprise, surprise, it turns out that this $4 billion that was gone into sort of... The idea was to bribe the Red Wall and keep them on side after traditional Labour voters lent Tories their vote in the last election, 2019. And surprise, surprise, most of that money, or a good chunk of it, has gone to predominantly Tory-led areas, to the point where people in Tory councils and MP get about £20 more per head.
I mean, that's pretty shocking. Area. But it's not a bribe, really, if you're being a bit cynical there. I mean, because it's more sort of fulfilling the pledge that was made. You know, when these people lent them their votes, they said that part of the project would be to level up.
OK, so it's more of a punishment towards the people who didn't vote for them.
Well, maybe it is
that way.
Why have they done this, Roger? Why did they not sort of calculate this better so that it looks like they've got more parity in terms of the way these funds are being distributed?
Well, as far as I understand it, levelling up, of course, polled quite well in the focus group. So the whole idea, however nebulous and however undefined, was something that they had to run with. And then what's happened, as far as I can see, with this second tranche of payments in the levelling up agenda, is that they have turned what would ordinarily be routinely dispersed government money through local government into some sort of beauty contest, so that now all the local councils are bringing in consultants at vast fees in order to prepare bids, and it's become a hideous beauty contest.
Right.
And consequently, of course, those who can prepare the best bid are those who are most in receipt of the money.
OK.
We should be grateful Qatar haven't walked off with the majority of the lion's share.
That's where I'll end up. But I do like how a couple of days ago we saw in the news where they've stopped saying levelling up and they're saying stepping up, because there's no chance of actually getting to the level.
Oh, so now they've rebranded it.
They've rebranded it because it's like, oh, we can't level up there, so now we're just going to climb.
I don't even know what it means.
Steps.
I mean, for a long time there were YouGov polls suggesting that no one really understood what levelling up meant. And they had a minister for levelling up.
And just as we learnt what it meant...
Then it's stepping up. I can't keep up with the lingo.
It's terrible. And the other big story, of course, is Ardern quits as New Zealand PM. That's a big one. We haven't really covered that. Obviously, it's been mentioned on the channel all day. Yeah,
any thoughts on that? Because I think with her sort of very draconian COVID lockdown policies, I don't think her legacy is going to be as fondly remembered as she assumed.
No, and I think the way that she's been fawned over in the press, certainly abroad, but, you know, the reality was she's probably going to get voted out. But saying that, she did some good for their housing market. She was also good about gun laws when they had the big shooting over there. And I think a lot of people have sort of argued that she is a good communicator. And
she was kind of good on gun law, but that she was quite bad on censorship. She seemed to blame...
bad on censorship, bad on women. Like, that was the first country that someone went into the Olympics. A biological man, went in a women's weightlifting. So there were definitely things I disagree with her fundamentally about. And certainly, like you say, the draconian... My wife's from New Zealand. We haven't been back for years because we can't afford it. But more than that. But saying that, then it's like, as she says, she's human.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Jacinda Ardern?
Well, there was an awful case of someone having to be protected from the Taliban because they weren't able to get back to New Zealand that I heard about today. And of course, I mean, she's jumping before she's pushed, almost certainly. And I think her legacy really won't be that impressive when it's analysed properly by history, even though she was, of course, a heroine of the slightly woke, slightly left-of-centre media.
Yep.